Good morning children. Hope all are doing good. Yes, very good. Hope you have written your exams well. Okay. Now today we are going to deal with your last lesson of your term 1. That is about safety and first aid. So safety, like what are you doing? What do you mean by safety? Now nowadays we are facing with this pandemic corona. What are the safety measures we are taking? For 2 minutes or 20 seconds or 40 seconds, whatever is it, we are washing our hands or we are sanitizing ourselves and we are wearing the mask, right? And we are seeing like our environment and the surroundings of our house or home or our neighborhood are clean and neat. So these are all the things or precautions we are taking. Why? In order to protect us from corona. Right. Now in this lesson we are going to learn about the safety or the precautions or different types of first aid. We are going to deal in different types of accidents happens and all. So this lesson will teach us like what are the different safety measures we have to take care. Alright. Now let us start your lesson. Alright. Somebody has eaten a banana and thrown the peel on the road. Has he done the right thing? What could happen? An accident may occur at any time. Are you ready to give instant aid to the injured if an accident occurs? Yes, children, you're traveling on the road. Alright, somebody is like they have eaten a banana and they're just throwing it on the road. What happens? Maybe you yourself may slip and you may fall down and accident may occur. Am I right? So we need to be very careful enough with all these things. We have dustbins available and we need to put or we need to see like our surroundings are clean and neat. First aid is the first medical help given to an injured person before a doctor arrives. The most important thing while giving first aid is to stay calm. So what do you mean by first aid, children? Suppose an accident occurs. Nowadays, if we find accident occurs on the road, what is happening? Everybody are busy with their mobiles. They take the recordings of that. Instead, as a human being, we have to think in what way we can help out the victim. Instead of recording with the mobile, that's a very bad habit, children. Instead taking out the recordings and all, first depending on the seriousness of the victim, like the person who got affected or who met with an accident or who was injured. Looking at the seriousness, either we should call an ambulance or first we have to do the first aid. Okay, or the first medical help, whatever we are doing it, that is called as the first aid. Alright, safety first. Like before visiting the hospital, few things can be done by us only. Simply say there is a wound. You can clean the wound with the cotton first with the water, then apply the Dettol or and then ointment. So these are the first aid what we can do it on our own. Alright, so once we have taken the victim to the hospital, then the doctor will take care of it. So the immediate treatment what we are giving before taking the victim to the hospital is nothing but first aid. Okay, now safety first. Safety on the road is more important than ever before because of the rapid increase in the number of vehicles. Read and follow road signs. They are meant for your safety. Always follow safety rules on the road and at home. However, sometimes accidents occur in spite of being careful. Here are the ways to deal with some emergencies. Now we see many accidents occurring on the road. Am I right? So we see many vehicles are traveling, lot of traffic jam. So whenever we are traveling, is it with a two-wheeler or with a four-wheeler, we need to be very careful enough so that we can protect ourselves from the accident. So while traveling on the two-wheeler, what is must? Helmet is must. While traveling in the car, is it helmet is needed when we travel in the car? No. Seat belt is important. When we are traveling in the four-wheeler, take care that you are wearing the seat belt. But when you are traveling through the vehicle or to the two-wheeler, see that you are wearing the helmet. The person who drives should wear the helmet and the person who is sitting at the back also should wear the helmet. So these are the safety measures what are we going to take while traveling through four-wheeler or the two-wheeler. Alright. Now here they have given, like on the road when we are traveling we find different kind of signs. So we have here no pedestrians. Like when the green light has been given, is it like can we cross the road when the green light is given? No. So during the traffic signal, when the traffic signal is being given, when the red light is spotted out, then only you are going to cross the road. Then we have no left turn. You can see in your page number 173 children, you have no U-turn, no entry, no honking. In few places we shouldn't horn also. But see children, never we should use the horn on traveling the roads. It's against the traffic rules. No right turn, speed breaker. When you have a speed breaker, you should make yourself, you are going to travel very slow. Next, for cuts and scratches. So if your mom or you are doing some work in the kitchen while cutting the vegetables or the fruits, like spontaneously when you're doing it very fast, what happens accidentally? A finger may cut with the knife or the cutter. So at that time, what is the first aid we are going to take? Let us see. Do not neglect any wound, however minor. Germs can enter body through uncovered cuts or wounds and cause infection. Wash your hands before giving first aid, as germs from dirty hands may infect the wound. Now what is it telling? We should never neglect a wound. Though it is smaller one also, we shouldn't never neglect the children. Now suppose you have a cut over a finger. First you have to wash your hands very neatly and then you are going to do the first aid. With the dirty hands, if you are doing the first aid, what all the germs are there in your hand, it gets settled near the wound, thereby causing infection. So before you applying any ointment or any Dettol or whatever is it, first you have to clean the wound with the water. Wash away all the dirt around the wound. So around the wound, if you are washing with the water, whatever the dirt is there, first it comes out. Clean the affected area with cotton wool soaked in an antiseptic solution. Antiseptic solution. What do you mean by antiseptic solution? Either it's a Savlon or it's a Dettol, whatever is it. So after you have washed the wound with the water, what are you going to do? You are going to clean the wound with the help of the cotton wool, and what are you doing? You are dipping the cotton wool in the antiseptic solution and then you are applying over the wound. Place a thick pad of cotton wool or sterilized gauze on the wound and press it with your thumb and fingers. This will stop bleeding in most cases. Suppose lot of bleeding is there and lot of bleeding is happening and wherein like you are not able to stop the bleeding of the blood. So what are you doing? First you are washing the wound with the water and then you are cleaning the wound with the antiseptic liquid, and later what are you going to do? You are going to put a thick pad of a cotton and you are going to press the wound with the fingers. So it doesn't mean like you are pressing it too much of it and the person may feel again pain. So you are just pressing it so that you are stopping the bleeding of the blood. A tourniquet can be used. So what is this tourniquet? It's a bandage that is used to tie very tightly around the wound. A tourniquet can be used. This is a bandage tightly tied over the wound to stop bleeding. So this tourniquet is nothing but a tight bandage that is used, or it is being used to tie around the wound in order to avoid the bleeding, over bleeding. When the skin is cut by a dirty or a rusted object, germs may enter and cause a dangerous disease called tetanus. Consult a doctor for an anti-tetanus injection. Suppose there is a wound or your finger or wherever part of the body is being cut with a knife that is being rusted. If there is a rust on the knife, then immediately we have to consult a doctor and we need to take a TT injection, tetanus injection, so that there will be no more infection near the wound. Otherwise, tetanus is a dreadful disease that caused because of this rusting things and all. Okay. Next, for nose bleedings. If you have a nose bleeding, like nose bleeding in the sense because of the overheat, due to overheat, or if you have any hurt on the nose, immediately we find bleeding occurs near the nostrils. How to avoid that, or what is the first step we have to take, or we have to take into action when we have a nose bleeding? Keep the patient upright in comfortable position with his head held back. Now first, what is the step you are doing it? Whoever the patient is there, you should see that the patient is sitting very comfortable position and with his head held back, like it is back. The head should be held back so that the bleeding is not coming down. It should not be down. It should be held back. Press the bleeding side of the nose firmly. So whichever the nostrils the bleeding is occurring, once the head is up, see that you are closing this nostril or this nostril. So you have to close the nostril in order to avoid the bleeding. Ask the patient to breathe through his mouth and not to blow his nose. So once you are closing the nostrils of the nose, ask the patient to take or to breathe in with the help of the mouth. A little bit of bleeding from the nose is harmless, but if the bleeding is heavy, send for the doctor. If like little bit quantity of bleeding has occurred, there is no serious issue about it. But if bleeding is more, then you have to consult the doctor immediately. So what is the first step that you are taking when there is a nose bleeding? You are going to make the patient to sit comfortably and see the patient, the head of the patient is held back, and close the nostrils and ask the patient to breathe with the help of the mouth. If the bleeding is less, there is no problem. If the bleeding is more, then you have to consult the doctor. That is about the nose bleedings. And then for sprains, when the tissues around the joint get torn, we call it as a sprain. What do you call it as a sprain? When the tissues around the joints, near the joints, if there is a tissue has been torn out, that is called as a sprain. Sprain cause swelling and sometimes discoloration of the skin. So what happens in the sprain? Whenever you have a sprain, you get a swelling near the part where you got hurt, and sometimes you can find discoloration. Discoloration in the sense the skin color changes to green color. You can find it out. When it doesn't mean like you get a hurt and you check it out. No. Whenever you find a person has a sprain, you can find that the skin changes to green color. They are very painful. Keep applying ice pack or ice cubes on an injured joint till the swelling subsides. So when you have a sprain, what are you going to do? Ice will make the magic. And one more thing, children, when you are applying the ice pack near the wound, you should not apply the ice directly. You have to, roll the ice in a cotton cloth and then you have to apply. Directly ice shouldn't be applied to the wound or near the sprain. Next, for fractures, a crack or a break in a bone is called as a fracture. So what is a fracture? If there is a crack or break in the bone, then it is called as a fracture. So what are you going to do? What is the first step you are going to do here? First, keep the patient calm and comfortable and send for the doctor. Apply a splint to give support to the broken bone and try to avoid unnecessary movement. So what is this splint? With the help of a cloth, you will tie near the neck and you give a support. That is nothing but a splint. Any easily available article like sheets of newspaper, piece of a cardboard or a pillow around the injured bone can act as a splint. So what are the things that can be used as a splint, children? Sheet of a newspaper, piece of a cardboard or a pillow around the injured bone. It means you are giving support to the bone so that there is no movement and you may not feel bit pain. You will be relieved with little bit of pain. This will prevent movement and help the broken bone to heal. So what is happening when you are doing it? So it is helping the bone not to give any sort of a movement and it will help you to heal soon. A sling made from a triangular piece of a cloth can be used for support. Now you can see in the picture, there is a triangular shape. In the triangular shape, they have made a cloth and they have tied, and within that you have put your hand so that wherever the broken bone you have, you are giving a support so that it will not do any movement for the bone. Then for burns, one can suffer burns from hot objects objects, fire, steam, boiling water, crackers, electric points and chemicals like acid. So this is like frequently happening in the kitchen, or whenever your mama is cooking, she may have a burn, right? So what are the things we have to take care? Like what is the first aid we are going to do for the burns? Again, you have in this burns 3 types, children. One is like minor burns, severe burns and chemical burns. Let us see minor burns. Though minor burns are very painful, they can be treated at home. If the burn is very small, no need to rush to hospital. With few things or with few safety, we can take care at home itself. Let running cold water flow over the burn until the pain subsides. Suppose there is a burn near the hand. So what are you going to do? You are going to put the hand under the tap water so that the cold water is flowing on that and the pain subsides with that. Apply an antiseptic lotion or cream to prevent infection. You have Burnol, these sort of things you can apply it on the affected area so that you can prevent from infection. If an antiseptic lotion is not available, apply a paste of a baking soda and a water. Suppose there is no Burnol available at home, you have to rush to medical shop. But in place of Burnol, what are you going to do? You are going to use a paste of baking soda and water. Even you can put honey on that. Even you can put toothpaste also on the affected area so that you cannot find any infection. That is for the minor burns. Now let us see for the severe burns. Sometimes the skin gets severely burned and blisters are formed. Skin burns very severely. Blisters ante enti bubble. Blisters are nothing but bubble style. Never try to prick the blister. A blister ni gillatamu and you are pinching with the pin. You should never do it. It may cause, there may be infection for that. An open blister is an open wound. It can catch infection. If the blister is being open, like ademotundante pagilipotundi. Pagilipoyinappudu water vastundi. Appudu infection vastundi. So, a blister ni meeru eppudu kuda open ga pettakodu. But em cheyali? Gently cover the burn with a clean piece of cloth or sterilized gauze to protect it from the dust and germs. So what are you going to do? Wherever you have a blister ఏదైతే పగిలిపోయింది ఉందో అక్కడ you are going to cover it with a clean cloth so that the germs or whatever is it is not being affected to that wound. If the victim is in the state of shock, give him a warm water. Never try to give a liquid to an unconscious person. If the victim who got severe burns is in a shock, first you give some water, 1 glass of the water. If the victim is unconscious at that time, you should never give the water. Dip a sterile piece of cloth in the solution of baking soda and use it as a wet compress. So, what is the first aid you are doing here? You are going to dip a sterile piece, it should be very clean, children. Sterile piece of cloth in the solution of baking soda and you are going to use it as a wet compress. You are going to apply it on the blisters or where the severe burns are there. Severe burns must be treated by a doctor. So we cannot treat the severe burns at home. Immediately the patient has to be taken to the doctor for the further treatment. Then chemical burns. Remove any clothing from an affected area. Use plenty of water to wash off the chemical. Suppose chemical has been fallen down on the dress. So what I first remove that clothing from that affected area and you are going to use plenty of water to wash that. So that whatever the chemical got settled near the wound, it washes away. Cover the burn with sterilized gauze and send for the doctor. You are going to cover the wound with the cotton and you are going to take the patient for the doctor for the further treatment. Next, for firefighting. In case there is a fire in a building, inform the nearest fire station. If there is a fire caught up near your building or in any place, so you have to immediately inform to the nearest fire station. In case of fire caused by petrol, do not throw water in it. If the fire is caused due to petrol, then we should not stop the fire by simply throwing the water on that. Water will flare up the fire. If you pour the water on that, the fire may increase. This is because petrol being lighter than the water. Why because the petrol is lighter than the water and it flows above the water and it keeps burning. Put out the fire by throwing a lots of sand or mud on it. See, there is a fire occurred due to petrol. Instead of flushing it with the water, what are you going to do? You are going to pour the sand on the fire or a mud to stop the fire caused due to petrol. If the person's clothes catch fire, suppose any person caught the fire to the clothes, then do not allow him to run in the pen. So what happens if a person got fire on his body with the pain or with the panic situation, he starts running all over that. See that the person is not running. This fan the flames. What happens when he is rushing? In opposite direction we may get the air. So because of that, the fire on the body may increase. Make him roll on the ground. So what are you going to do? Immediately take one thick blanket. See that you are going to cover it. Make him to sleep on the ground and you are going to roll it. Cover him with a thick blanket. This can put out the fire by cutting off oxygen. So with a thick blanket, if you are covering, the fire can be stopped and you can make the patient to roll it down so that complete fire, whatever is there, it can be avoided completely. If a fire has been caused by defective wiring or an electric gadget, suppose there is a short circuit, what is that? Do not throw water on it. Again, never throw water on that. This can cause electrocution. Immediately turn off the main switch. If any short circuit has happened, the immediate step, what are you going to do? You are going to switch off the main, but don't pour the water on that. Smoother the fire by throwing sand. Again, what are you going to do? You are stopping the fire by throwing the sand. Use a fire extinguishers. We have fire extinguishers. You are going to use the fire extinguisher to stop the fire. Then for animal bites, wash the wound with soap and water to remove germs, as the virus which causes rabies or hydrophobia may be carried on the saliva of the infected animals. Dogs, wolves, bats and cats are known to carry the rabies virus. Suppose a dog bite is there, or a cat, or a dog, wolf, whatever it is. If any person has such bite, what are you going to do? First we have to wash the wound with the soap and water so that the germs can be removed. Apply an antiseptic lotion to prevent infection. Bandage the wound and rush the victim to the doctor. This is the first aid you are going to do. What are you going to do if a person met with a dog bite, cat, wolf, whatever is it? First you have to wash the wound with the soap and water and you are going to apply the antiseptic lotion and you are going to cover with the bandage, and immediately the person has to be rushed to the doctor for further treatment. For snake bites, generally we find snake bites in the villages. A poisonous snake injects poison with its sharp fangs, causing a lot of pain and swelling. Treatment must be given immediately as the poison can kill. Do you know what a snake? It has two teeth and it has two tongues. Am I right? So with the help of that, the snake bites the person. Apply a tonic pad just above the bite to stop the flow of blood to the heart. This may help to slow down the spread of a poison. So once there is a snake bite, immediately the poison, whatever is coming from the teeth or the two tongues, it spreads into the blood. Suppose there is a snake bite over here. Okay, so what are we going to do? We are going to use a tourniquet. Tourniquet, what is that? It's a bandage that is being tied very tightly. Okay, suppose here I have a bite. I shouldn't tie the tourniquet on the bite. I am going to tie the tourniquet below the bite. Ikkada kadtamu, so that a poison area undo, it will not enter into the body. It stops here only because we are tying the hand with a tight tourniquet. That's why. Immediately rush the victim to the doctor. We have to take the victim to the doctor. It is always better to take precautions when you walk through areas where snakes are found. Wear high boots to protect your feet. Suppose a person is there who has to clean. Generally we find GHMC persons will be working very hard to clean all the areas, sanitized areas wherever they are. So we have, in order to avoid from these snake bites, you find they wear long boots. If you are wearing the long boots, we can protect ourselves from the snake bite. Then for poisoning, do you know that certain things in your house may be poisonous? Yes, nail polish, naphthalene balls, paints, detergents, and some medicines are poisonous. Remember these rules. So, what are the poisonous things generally we find it in our home? Naphthalene balls, white color one, the paints, nail polish, detergent, and few medicines are there. Whatever is there, they are very poisonous. So keep all medicines locked. Such sort of a medicines has to be put in one rack and it has to be locked, because small children doesn't know how to use it. So we should keep away all these things without reaching the children. Read the label very carefully before taking any medicine. Throw or destroy all the medicines which have crossed their expiry date. So you have to, whenever you are using any medicine, instructions will be given. So you have to read the instructions very carefully and then you have to use the medicine. Yes, doctor will prescribe it, but still on the tonic or the syrup or whatever is it, they will be giving you the instructions. You have to follow the instructions very strictly. And then on the medicines also the expiry date will be given, children. So once the expiry date is being done or it's over, we shouldn't take the medicines. They will be proved to be poisonous. So once the expiry date of that particular medicine is over, then you have to throw the medicines. Properly washed vegetables and fruits before eating them. They may have been sprayed with harmful pesticides. So before cooking the vegetables or before eating the fruits or the raw vegetables, what is the thing we are going to do? We have to wash the vegetables and the fruits very properly so that whatever the pesticides have been sprayed on them can be cleaned in a proper way. In case of any kind of poisoning, try to make the victim vomit. So if suppose accidentally, if anybody has consumed the poison, see that the person or the victim is being vomited. Rush the victim to the doctor. A call away. Keep the telephone numbers of your nearest police station, fire station, doctor and chemist handy. In case of an emergency, you can immediately call for the help. Always we should keep a list of contact numbers with us so that if anything happens in our home or in the surroundings, we should be available with all the contact numbers so that we can help them out and seek the immediate first aid or the immediate response from the people so that we can avoid any sort of an accident. So this is about your lesson, safety and first aid. Hope you understood the lesson, children. Read the lesson very carefully and this is very useful in your practical life, children. So this lesson is very important because in your home, in your neighborhood, your friends may have some or the other things so that you can be very helpful to them. Okay, children? Stay safe, stay healthy. Thank you. Bye-bye.